Wes Strader with Gary P. West here with us. And our guest, our good friend and colleague, as Gary West says, Kenny Skywalker. Skyman, how are you?
How you doing, Wes?
I'm looking good,
Gary,
thank you.
how you guys doing?
Hey, we're glad to have you with us on this beautiful afternoon.
You're absolutely right. It's great outside today. The weather's gorgeous.
Well, we're obviously going to talk basketball. But, Gary, you had a question you needed to ask Kenny before we got to the basketball.
Well,
you wanted to ask him about. And, Sky, this comes, he asked me, and I don't know what's going on here, but he said he wanted to ask you a question.
You know, Wes, it's amazing how people know you, isn't it?
He's laughing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's already laughing.
Kenny, what do you think the question is?
I don't know. This could be kind of dangerous.
Well,
I'm kind of scared to anticipate what that might be, so I'm going to just kind of relax here for a minute and get ready for it.
Well, I've been kind of told here to ask you about, understand.
Told?
No. I've been told to ask you. I didn't say where it came from. In fact, I got this question off the internet. Something about your liar's poker.
No. I don't know if that came off the internet right there. I got a very good idea probably where that came from. But let me tell you something, Gary. Now, the old man there that you're doing the show with, he's pretty good at this liar's poker, but I think if he's completely honest, he would tell you that I came a long way over the years. I started off kind of slow, but as the years went by, I caught on. It took me a little while, but once I got it going, I was able to represent pretty good.
Yeah, let me tell you, I've traveled with him a few miles and done this myself and kept score and all this stuff. And Wes is one of those guys that does his research on that game. In other words, if he runs across a good dollar bill, he hangs on to it. And he'll pull one out that has 14 aces on it.
I knew it was some reason why he was winning all the time.
Yeah, he works at that game.
I'll tell you what, Kenny and I were together for 8 years. We've been everywhere. We've had so much fun together, and like I said earlier, you know, when you travel with someone those late nights, or you're in airports, or you're in hotels and eating and all of that, and you're always running together, you know, you get to know a guy pretty well. We had 2 times that Kenny, in all these 8 years, really got perturbed with me. And one time we were coming back from Cincinnati, and he got so mad that he kept bidding, you know, exorbitantly high, just so I wouldn't win.
Well,
and then another time, he was supposed to dish out the cards, you know, and I would reach over and take the card from him, and he got kind of upset about that.
I can tell that Kenny has one of these, what you call, forgiving personalities. Now, just in 2 times in 8 years, Kenny, I worked with him for 12 and a half, and I had 2 times a day. 2 times a day.
Oh, man. Hey, okay. Well, we have fun, and that's what it's all about.
We had a great time, and I think, like Wes said earlier, boy, those trips would go by really fast. But I knew whatever town that we was traveling in for that weekend, if Wes was going to pull out a win, I knew by the time I got to the media room the next day, I was going to hear about how bad I did in liar's poker.
Oh, he calls
I heard
ahead.
about that a lot.
He calls ahead.
Yeah, that's right. But we had fun, though, and that was the most important thing.
That's right. Kenny, thanks for taking time. I know you got a busy schedule, truthfully, and I got my release today from the Southeastern Conference, and they've got Kentucky in the 3rd position in the East, and there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of print all around the state. What are the Kentucky Wildcats, the nation's winningest basketball program, what are they going to be like this year? And everybody's speculating pretty much. It is speculation because you don't have Crawford back, you don't have Bradley back, you don't even have Jasper back, and those are 3 pretty key members. Give us a little bit of a breakup on the Kentucky Wildcats right now.
Yeah, absolutely, White. Wes, you made some great points. They did lose an awful lot from last year with the seniors and Bradley and Crawford, you know, the backcourt from last year, and then you lose in what Billy Gillespie calls your lead guard, your most experienced returning point guard. You lose Jasper in the transfer to UNLV, so you lost an awful lot, and then you had a lot of injuries last year. So I know a lot of Kentucky fans are probably saying, man, what is this team is going to be like? But I think that there's a lot of anticipation with this team because I think Billy Gillespie has done an outstanding job of going out and recruiting. Obviously, we know the guys who are going to be coming in, 2 or 3 years down the line, but he's got a couple guys that are coming in from the junior college ranks, Galloway and Harrison. One's a point guard at 6'7", and the other one is a banger inside at 6'8". That's going to take a lot of pressure off of Patrick Patterson. You got a dynamite freshman in Darius Miller from Mason County who led his team to the state championship this year. He'll come in and help out at the 2 guard in the small forward position. And you got Perry Stevenson, and Wes, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, one of the most experienced guys on the team who's playing a lot with a lot of confidence. And if Jody Meeks and Patrick Patterson, if those guys can recapture the form that they've had from the last couple of years, this team is going to be one of the most athletic teams that I think I've seen at UK in a long, long time. And I don't know how they're going to shoot it from the outside, but defensively, I think they can be really, really good, that they can really create a lot of offense from their defense. So I'm very excited about seeing them play.
You mentioned the lead guard. Who's got that position right now, do you think? Yeah, well, and you've seen them play, right?
I've seen them play. I went over a lot this summer when Coach Gillespie was having his basketball camps, and obviously had an opportunity like everybody else to see Midnight Madness. But basically what I saw this summer is I think it's going to be some nice competition in practice. I think it's going to be some nice rivalries in practice. You got Liggins, a freshman that's coming in highly touted at 6'6", good size, long wingspan for a point guard, a guy that's really smooth, like a greyhound, can get up and down the court. A little on the slim side right now, but another year or two in the program, on the weight program, he's going to fill out and be nice. So, but I think talent-wise, he's there. Galloway, the other guy that he's going to be competing against, I think, for this point guard position, has a little bit more experience. Has played a couple years in junior college, has really good size, even better size than Liggins. He's 6'7", great body. I think Gillespie can have a lot of fun with him. He not only can play the point guard position, but he could probably play almost every other position out on the floor. So Gillespie's going to have a lot of fun with this team, Wes. I think it's going to be it's going to remind you a lot of the Denny Crum teams in the early 80s that he had at Louisville, where he had those big, long, tall, athletic guards, and those guys on the front line that are not true centers but have enough size to play the position and have enough speed and athletic ability that they can get out there and run with those guards and perimeter players. I think it's going to be the fun year for them this year. I think the schedule is set up for them to have a good non-conference schedule where they play a couple of really tough teams. And by the time they get to the SEC, hopefully they'll be peaking out and be ready to go and hopefully have a great year.
Kenny Skywalker is our guest tonight on the ExxonMobil Wes and West Show. Our phone number is 782-1945, 782-1945. If you're outside the Bowling Green dialing area, a toll-free number for you is 1-866-240-0609.
Or we can be emailed at espnradio1450@yahoo.com.
Going to take a break, and Kenny, if you will, hold on for just a second. You're used to doing this.
I will.
Okay, and we'll be right back with Kenny Skywalker